The questions are coming in, yes.
Wonderful. This is amazing, Kobi. Thank you very much for joining us today so we can question you about the exciting summit that you are organizing in the first week of September. How are you doing?
I'm fine. It's a great honor to be here. And thank you, Gilad and Stacey, who invited us to speak on your great meeting. And of course, we were so excited to see you all here in Israel, in Tel Aviv soon. Great time to be in Tel Aviv. Great weather, a lot of things to do around.
We are humble. Actually, we are excited to go back to Israel in September, which is actually one of the, I would say, one of the 2 or 3 nicer months to go and visit, especially when we're talking about Tel Aviv, heat, humidity, and the Mediterranean is finding that perfect temperature to dive in.
That's right.
Stacey, have you been to Israel?
Not yet. Looking forward to it.
Great. So you're going to ask Kobi questions, and hopefully the audience will ask you questions to ask Kobi questions. So I'll just give you the reins and the mic and go ahead.
Sure. Well, it looks like more or less a couple people are just interested to know what's actually on the agenda for the Global Summit.
Okay, that's a great question. So first, we have here InsurTech Week Tel Aviv. So InsurTech Week Tel Aviv is going to take place starting in Tel Aviv, of course, starting on Sunday, September 3rd, until Wednesday, September 6th. And it's going to be a great time here in Tel Aviv. We have a lot of events, side events, and great opportunity to engage with our InsurTech Accelerator, and of course with great people coming from all over the world and from Israel. Parallel to the InsurTech Week, or by the InsurTech Week, and parallel to the summit, we're having here the Global Rapid Accelerator program, startup that coming from all the continents, from Africa, from India, from Australia, from New Zealand, from Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, and from Europe, Italy, Turkey, Belgium, Germany, and from US, of course, and from Argentina, Canada, and Uruguay will gather here to have a boot camp, InsurTech boot camp here in Tel Aviv. So it's starting on Sunday. It's not opening for all the people, but it's part of the session are opening, and it's starting on Sunday until Wednesday. So this is the first event or side event to the conference. The conference itself starting on Tuesday, September 5th in the morning in Hilton Hotel. Hilton Hotel is one of the best hotel in Tel Aviv. It's on the seashore, so it's great time, great place, and great location. It's starting on Thursday morning, and Tuesday morning with one-on-one meeting. So we took the venue, the Hilton venue for you, so you'll be able to have quality time with the startup. Instead, spending the time during the summit, we separated the meeting to another date and time slot. So it's starting in the morning until noon. Then all of you will have a break, free time in Tel Aviv, and then we will gather again Tuesday afternoon for a sunset party in the Hilton balcony. It's a great location. We will have the sunset around us, and of course a lot of beers and wine and alcohol and food and DJs. So it's going to be great party for all of you to engage with our startup and with all the participants, all our guests and people that coming from all over the world, and of course to Israel. This is the first day of the summit. Tuesday. Wednesday is the summit day, starting in the morning, 8:40, with great lectures. I can share with you later on some names that are going to be part of the speakers and the panelists, great people from all over the world, and of course the startups. We will have 4 tracks during parallel 4 tracks during the summit. So we will have an AI. It's a big issue now in the insurance industry. It's a lot of professional AI specialists will speak on that track. We have a P&C track, we have a health track, and we have investment track. In all these tracks, We'll have panels and lectures and startups. So you and all the guests will be able to choose what interesting them. So great opportunity. Of course, we will have main stage twice during the event. And in the end of the summit, the last session will be a demo stage presenting by the startups. 15 chosen startup will present them technology on the stage. And after that, we will finish the summit with a party, as the Israeli like to know to operate. So we will have a party around, and this will be the end of the InsurTech Week.
Okay, so basically, Stacey, we need to keep our happy hour on Tuesday and not move it to Wednesday, not Tuesday, Monday, and not push it to because there is a party. Okay, that's a very important thing to remember. And by the way, yes, we're going to have a small happy hour for our delegation, but taking a step back and just iterating on what you said so far. So Labor Day week, you are starting with a full week of activities in Tel Aviv. And remember, folks, we are talking about in Israel, the week starts on a Sunday, which means that most likely you will be traveling on Saturday, landing on a Sunday, and the majority of the activities will start. Then Monday, it's all kinds of our delegation activities. Tuesday, the summit. Wednesday is the summit. And Thursday, people who join, there is a trip to Jerusalem and the Dead Sea. In between meetings, waking up because of the jet lag, joining me for a run on the beach, it's going to be fantastic. Okay, did I miss anything, Stacey?
No, I think that was a good summary. So there's another question here that about the summit in terms of who's attending and who would we like to see attending.
We like to see all. We are warm people, so we like to host people from all over the world. So we're expecting to have hundreds of people here. Some hundreds, about 500. So it's going to be a very nice and comfortable summit. Right now we have some hundreds of people coming from abroad. So we have people coming from Australia, Singapore, India, Africa, as I mentioned, and Europe, and of course from US and from Latin America. So that will be part of our guests. The second part are the Israelis. So the Israelis separated or not separated, split to the startups. So we're expecting to have something around 150 startups here. The majority of them are InsurTechs, of course. And the second part are insurance people coming from Israel, brokers, agents, carriers, and the regulator. You know, during the conference day, we will have a really unique panel. It's a regulator panel. Regulators coming from Europe, from Africa, from Asia, will speak about the challenging of having AI and ChatGPT tools in the insurance industry. It's very unique, and I think it's the first time that regulators from all over the world will speak about the challenges that we're having with that, and all of them will have. So it's going to be some of the panels. So you will see here regulators, insurance people, startups, and key person coming from all over the world, of course from Israel, and of course from Israel.
So basically a mix of all the different functions and types of companies that we expect to see, from carriers, brokers, regulators, investors, startups, local and global.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it sounds like the global piece is real differentiating from a lot of the other events that you see. You're Israel being central to most of the globe. You're bringing people from the far reaches of Asia to Europe and America. So that's a pretty diverse group. But Kobi, with all the panels and topics that are being discussed, and you were just mentioning the regulator one, is there one that you're particularly looking forward to?
I think I had a problem with my Wi-Fi or the connection. Can you repeat about the question?
Sure. The simple question was, is there an actual speaker or panel that you're most looking forward to?
Of course, it's mine. My startup demo stage. So there will be the end of the summit, but you can look at the agenda. It's something amazing, really, really amazing. I've been in a lot of conferences and all of them were great, but that agenda is something, as you said, something very unique because we will have plenty of people from all over the world speaking about the InsurTech. So I'm sure that it will be great time, great time here.
Kobi, tell us something about InsurTech Israel, though. What is InsurTech Israel actually? What do you guys actually do?
So InsurTech Israel have 4 pillars: investment, consulting, media, and the Israel InsurTech Accelerator, one of the best accelerator programs in the world. All that activities and pillars assist us to build here a great, active, and flourishing InsurTech ecosystem. We're having here more than 180 InsurTech startups in Tel Aviv. I don't think there is any other city in the world that have so many InsurTech startups in one place. But if there is, so Tel Aviv is supposed to be the second or the third. So it's some of the main areas, one of the main places around the world for InsurTech technology. So we are leading that ecosystem, building them relationship with potential client and investor, assist them to approach the insurance market, sharpen the product, invest, raise money, and treat them like our kids.
Excellent. So talk a little about the accelerator program. So how many cohorts have you had? And you mentioned 180 startups. How many of those have actually been in the accelerator?
Okay, so some of them been in our cohorts. We already had 5 cohorts, so it's not a new one. We have 2 cohorts per year, and we are going to open our 6th one in the end of the year. So we're having a great success with our startups. We raised more than $100 million in the last 18 months and signed on more than 40 big agreements during that time. So it's a very successful accelerator program. I must say that it's just for Israelis. I'm sorry for that. It's just for InsurTech and just for Israel InsurTech startup. We are having a lot of receiving a lot of emails coming from a lot of startups from all over the world that want to join our accelerator program. That's the reason that we open our global Rapid Accelerator program, and it's going to, as I mentioned, it's going to start on the beginning of September, parallel to the summit time.
Interesting. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
No, I didn't know. So those are 2 separated tracks of the accelerator. So you have the Israel Accelerator, soon to be the 6th cohort, which is amazing. And in this week, you're going to have the Rapid Global for international startups. That is going to be for how long? A week? 2 weeks? A month?
No, 4 days. And actually, we want to change the name from Rapid Accelerator program for a bootcamp, InsurTech bootcamp, because it's just 4 days. It's not a long tail of InsurTech Accelerator programs we are doing in our cohorts. But speaking about our accelerator program, just mentioned that we have here great partners like AIG and IAG and Aon and Sompo Insurance and Lloyd's of London and AF Group from US, and of course BrokerTech Ventures, and Menorah and Klal and Migdal are Israeli insurance companies. So all these great companies, big companies, are our business partner. And from the technology side, we have partner like Dell and like Microsoft and Sapiens and Deloitte and Milliman is one of our partners, and you can find Boltec and Xidens and Research Pro. So it's a great American and European and global companies that all together with us running here. I think one of the best InsurTech accelerator program in the world.
Wow, that's great. So is besides on Tuesday with the meetings that you're arranging, are there any other activities or ways for people to engage with either accelerator programs during the week?
Okay, that's great question. So as I mentioned, we have the InsurTech Week Tel Aviv, InsurTech Week Tel Aviv. But before that, I must say that Monday we separate Monday to be open day or free day for people, not just because they look for to be on the beach or in a restaurant and travel in Israel. It's good. It's good as well. We leave it as an open day to let people to be engaged with other ecosystem in Israel. We assume that people that coming from US crossing the ocean look for another kind of technologies, ideas like cyber, like AI, like food tech, like climate tech. So on Monday, you will be able to meet a lot of others InsurTech technology company. You can use our relationship with Startup Nation Central to set up and schedule meeting with other technology topics. So for your question, and during the InsurTech Week, we're having here some other side events very important, like Women in InsurTechs, and like Sabine Vanderlind and Lisa Waterblow side event. It's very attractive. A lot of people apply to that event. And we're having here the annual actuary conference for one day during that InsurTech Week Tel Aviv, sponsored by Actuary 8. And we have many other side events here around. So people will be able to engage, to explore a lot of knowledge, technology, information, solution, and of course, parallel to our great time and leisure and pleasure.
Great. Looks like questions are slowing down, but if anybody has any more, this will be a last call for questions. While Kobi, I can ask you this one. Thinking for first time and maybe second time visitors to Israel, do you have any tips or advice that you'd give to people?
Yes, bring your swimsuit.
Don't forget the hat.
Yeah,
no.
Don't forget
Is there
the
a
hat.
difference if first time to Israel and Tel Aviv versus second time? Let's assume people. So, for example, we are landing on a Saturday. Don't be surprised. There is no public transportation. So usually you will have a train. So if you land on a Sunday, you will have a train. However, on a Saturday, you don't have a train from the airport to Tel Aviv. Also, are there other things that people should be aware of in terms of the fact that there is no Uber and they should download the Get app, which it's because Israel is a taxi animal, taxi
maybe
country.
maybe animal. Anyway, let's speak about some topics. Okay, so the first one is, as Gilad mentioned, is the transportation. So the traffic in Tel Aviv is terrible. It's very crowded roads, and so be aware of that by scheduling your time. Traveling from the airport to Tel Aviv, please take or use the official taxi drivers, not those that are approaching you in the arrival venue. So use the official one is just in the left side of the corner of the arrival avenue. You will see that there's a lot of sign, and use the official one. It's easy to drive from or to ride from the airport to Tel Aviv. It's 25 minutes if there is no heavy traffic. You can use taxi in Tel Aviv. You can use scooters. You can walk. It's not so big city. We all will be in the center, the city center, or around the seashore. So it's very close. You can walk, or use scooters or taxis. Don't rent a car. Don't try to drive with the Israeli drivers. It's like Formula One. You need to be aware of that. So that's about the transportation. About the accommodation, there's plenty of hotels and BR apartments in Tel Aviv. There are thousands of rooms, hotels, and or Airbnb apartments. So just look for the good one. There is no bad areas in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv or Israel is a very safe country, and Tel Aviv is a very safe city. There is no bad area, so you can book whatever in every corner in the city, and feel safe to walk even alone, even at night and after midnight. It's a very safe city. As you know, Tel Aviv is the city that never slept. So you always find something to do, a lot of things to do around, and you will see a lot of people in the street walking or have parties in each days after midnight or even in early morning. So Tel Aviv and Israel is very safe. You can book a hotel. I recommend you to book a hotel around Hilton Tel Aviv because this is our venue. But you can book in other places. There is a high premium luxury hotels, and of course a nice boutique hotels that you can book. This is about the accommodation. We spoke about security, so be relaxed. It's very safe country and safe city.
I think that the biggest thing also to add will be about tips. How much do you leave a tip nowadays?
So if you're happy, 10%. If you're fascinated, 15%.
And just remember, unlike the US, the US is a unique compared to the rest of the world. In Israel, if you don't have the cash, you need to tell them in advance how much percent to leave as a tip. Only in the US, there is this thing that they take your credit card, disappear, keep the bill open, and then later on ask you, okay, they will close and you have no idea how much. And hopefully it's actually what you wrote in that receipt.
Every store, every restaurant, everyone using credit cards, and especially Apple Pay, and you can pay it directly on your table
from your
or
phone.
from your phone on every place. So you don't need even to use cash. Just bring for your comfortable, but you don't need to use the card. Apple Pay is fine here too. You can pay for parking, for taxi, for everything with Apple Pay.
Don't take a car, no need for parking. So yes. I think that Stacey, do we have another question, or am I going to ask another cultural question so people will have new ideas?
It looks like there's one more question, but if it's relevant, if your question is relevant to what we were just discussing, then why don't you throw it in?
Kobi, what would be the one thing that people should try in terms of some sort of a meal or a dish that people must have? They cannot leave Israel without having it.
Okay, three meals: shakshuka, hummus, and shawarma. that's and of course our national food, falafel. You can find it, great ones, in every corner in Tel Aviv, but especially in Carmel Market. So one great location, not so far from Hilton Hotel, is you will find a Carmel Market. It's a regular market that you can see in a lot of cities around the world, but instead of having there just vegetable and other suppliers, you will find that a lot of restaurants and bars and pubs. The Israeli like to enjoy. So you will find it in Carmel Market a lot of opportunities to eat, a lot of great foods. Of course, clean and everything is fine. So mark the Carmel market as one location, one important location for you to enjoy.
For a culinary and a little bit
Yes.
more bohemian food.
Yes,
Sorry,
Israel is a very
Stacey.
foodie country. Very foodie. You can find it everything, and in great quality and clean.
So in other words, I should have started my diet before I got there.
Oh yeah, dude, I've been dieting like crazy for the past few months, just
Yeah,
knowing that I will need to diet again after.
Uh-huh. Great. Hey, Kobi, one more question that for people that can't make it to Tel Aviv in September to get to your event, when do you think we'll see more of the InsurTech Israel startups in the US?
okay, so they will have two opportunities in the end of October. So we're having the annual Israel InsurTech roadshow in US. It's starting on October 23rd in Lansing, Michigan, and then in October 24th in Columbus, Ohio, and in Thursday, October 26th, we will be in Des Moines. So it's a great roadshow. You can see us both in the summit and in the roadshow. So don't hesitate to arrive and join us to both opportunities. And of course, a week later, we'll be with a huge delegation of InsurTech startup in the ITC in Vegas.
Wonderful. And I haven't seen any new questions coming in for the last few minutes. So I think
Okay.
we're wrapped up there. Is there anything you guys
listen,
would like to add?
I think no. The only thing is like, guys, it's still not too late. Week of Labor Day. So first week of September, we're going to be in Tel Aviv and have a lot of fun meeting Kobi, his startups. Of course, we need to give a shout out to Gilad and FinTLD for their participation and partnership in this beautiful endeavor. And Stacey, well, I think that only on our flight, we are flying together. We're going to be 3 from the delegation, and hopefully that specific one will have more and more people joining us. If not, we will need to, that will make our taxi ride to the city a little bit easier. Cool,
That's
wonderful.
true.
Thank you everyone for joining us for this quick webinar. If you haven't joined us live, of course, there are going to be snippets and sound bites and of course, full recording published later on during this week. See you in Tel Aviv.